But joining us on the show today is our first time coach joining us. Is Coach Shaw from Meadowview Christian. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining me, Coach. Coach, introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, where you're from, what position you coach here with Meadowview Christian.
Well, my name's David Shaw. I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm over in
That's right.
Meadowview now. Went to Oak Mountain High School throughout my high school career, and now I coach the offensive and defensive lines for our guys, and I work with our junior varsity as well.
There you go. Straight out of Oak Mountain now. That's Birmingham. That's my college area up there. I know a few guys from that area. So you're a ball player up there at Oak Mountain, right?
Yes, sir.
And tell us a little bit about your playing career then, Coach.
Well, I played at Oak Mountain. Played a couple different positions. Struggled with a few injuries here and there throughout my time, but was actually able to try and further my career and go to college at Mississippi State. And had an unfortunate
Bulldogs.
Yes, sir. Hell State. I went there and unfortunately had a career-ending injury before I was able to really get my career going there. But I found out through that God had a plan the whole time, and that He didn't, even though my playing career was over, He had a position for me to coach and to impact kids' lives the way my coaches have done mine.
Right, there you go. And so a lot of people get into coaching. A lot of players get into coaching, should I say? Everybody don't make it to the NFL or even to play past college, but just to get the opportunity to play in college, that's a small percentage of players. So that's some knowledge that you have that a lot of people just don't have, that you're able to pass down. That a lot of people don't recognize that. They think that just because or you have to go to the NFL to have some knowledge of something, but that's not true.
Absolutely.
So you had a career-ending injury, so that led you I'm sure a bunch of other things, but it brought you back around to coaching, and from Birmingham to Starkville, Mississippi. Now you're here in Selma, Alabama.
Right.
How did you get here to Selma?
Well, there was actually a couple stops in between there. When I got hurt, I wound up transferring to the University of Alabama. Finished up my education.
Roll Tide. I'm sure a lot of people saying it right now for you.
Roll Tide, absolutely. I had a wonderful time in Tuscaloosa. Met a couple really good people, and actually got to be around the weightlifting program at the University of Alabama. Got to see Coach Cochran in his element. Got to witness and be around some of those workouts. And actually, we had a club team there for the Olympic weightlifting program, and was kind of one of the founding members of that. So that was big for us, and to get to be around Coach Cochran and see how much a good strength and conditioning program really impacts the school,
right,
and what that can do for you. Wound up coaching at Holt High School in Tuscaloosa, and then the head coach that I was there with took a job at Wilcox Academy down in Camden, Alabama. I went with him, was his defensive coordinator for 2 years, and then joined Coach Taylor here at Meadowview.
There you go. And so a lot of people might not realize that coaching can have you traveling a lot. You might be at one place 1 year, 3 years, and then you off to the next place. So you're kind of like a nomad, traveling around and uprooting your family some. So if you're able to find a place, to where you kind of can lay your roots and build something, I think that's kind of a rarity, but a thing that a lot of coaches look for, to find somewhere you can grow and things of that nature. So, all right, Coach, let's get into the season. Tough start to your season, 0-7 right now. But as we talked to Coach Taylor about, you have a young, very, very young team. Let's get into, I guess, that young team and the development of it. You talked about the weight room, and you know how important that weight room being. What are you doing to invest in those kids to make sure that you can try to get a return in years to come?
Absolutely. Well, we definitely are a young team. I give them Friday night, past couple of weeks. I have our 11 guys playing on both sides of the ball. 8 to 9 of those guys are either freshmen or sophomores. So very young team.
Yeah.
which, you still go out and try and compete every day to win. And you go out and try and compete, to win, and do the best that you can and try and get better every play. But those guys, I had a lot of them with our junior varsity squad. And the best part about that was that I got to see them develop as the year went on, both at the JV level and then when I'm winding up playing on varsity. That's been a great experience for them, setting up our future. You're getting reps as a freshman against juniors and seniors at other schools.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're a little bit behind development-wise, but to get that experience and to get a feel for what it takes to really solidify a program, see what you need to do in the weight room, that's kind of experience that you just don't get unless you're put in that situation.
Right.
Fortunately for us, we do have a young core, so we are building for the future. And the more experience that we got throughout the year, the more those guys just kind of got fire inside of them, and they're in the weight room every day and they're working hard and they're starting to ask questions. And this was a big step for them because this is our first year back in 11-man football.
Right.
So going from their middle school year, 7th and 8th grade, to now we're playing 11-man football instead of 8 and 6-man football. That's a big jump in competition as far as the physicality and what it takes to play on Friday night.
Yeah.
And now being younger, that's just excited them. We were kind of wondering which way that was going to go early in the season. Would that excite them, or would it, kind of tear them down a little bit, and all it's done is just make them want to work that much harder?
Man, it has to be just a different feeling to be in a high school setting, 11-man football, and have so many young kids around. It can be a feeling of, some type of anxiety right now, but also you have a promising future. You have to think that much.
Absolutely. Watching these guys play on Friday nights, you see them come up and make a play against other schools' varsity players, what would be considered normal varsity players, older kids. And they come up and make a play, and you look at it and you get a flash, a glimpse of what that future does look like. And we've got a couple of kids who are really bought in, really just started working hard, and you see that future is bright for Meadowview. And, it's a process. You work towards it every day. Coach Taylor does a great job of keeping us all grounded, keeping us all focused on this isn't just we're preparing for this week, we're also preparing for the future as well. And it's starting to come together. I actually hate this end of the season because those guys are starting to really come on and really starting to grasp what it means to be able to play winning football on Friday nights.
Yeah, man, and it's very rewarding, I would say, to be able to see those kids, develop at this stage and be able to, gain that confidence to want some more and not necessarily want the season to end. You have some kids who might be looking for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like you said, when you see kids starting to get excited about playing football,
right?
Which is, in all honesty, that was something that was kind of lacking when we first got here. Was that there was a little uneasiness. It wasn't that they weren't excited to play football, but there was that unknown of what are we doing. Now they're ready to go. They get the workouts every day, and they're like, Coach, let's go get better.
Yeah, once you have that, you know what to do. You have the confidence to do it now.
Absolutely.
And that's a big part of it. So we have Coach Shaw here, offensive line coach from Meadowview Christian Academy, or should I say Meadowview Christian School now. Christian School Trojans, right here located off of Old Orville Road here in Selma, Alabama, in Ward 1, right there in our good councilman Carl Bowling's ward, right there in Ward 1. So we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to come back with a little bit more.